Right now at 5, a bird flu outbreak prompts testing of dairy cows nationwide. What state line farmers and experts say can keep you and your family safe.
Plus, Winnebago County set to receive a major technological and security upgrade. The federal grant funding thousands of cameras and intercoms.
And a state line nursing school celebrating its students. Today's commencement ceremony as graduates prepare to enter the field.
Live from WTVO 17. This is Eyewitness News at 5.
Good evening. I'm Mimi Murphy.
And I'm Wendell Leppers. Happy Friday, everyone. Thanks for being here. Tonight, a bird flu outbreak in dairy cows is prompting nationwide testing of milk. The U.S. Department of Agriculture announced the order, which will start in just 2 days.
Eyewitness News reporter Blake Dietz spoke to a state line dairy farmer and an expert today. Blake, what do we need to know about this outbreak?
Right now, there are no confirmed cases in Illinois or Wisconsin, Mimi. Wendell, this outbreak started last spring when experts say a mutation allowed the virus to jump species, and it's now found in hundreds of herds. That has prompted government officials to order a nationwide test to track the spread. Now, the strain of avian influenza has been found in cattle across 16 states. That includes Iowa, Minnesota, and Michigan. Amy Hildebrand and her family milk thousands of cows on their farm in South Beloit. She says she welcomes the testing as a way to learn more about the virus and keep her cows healthy.
We stay on top of it and stay abreast if we need to implement any other practices. This will give us a good, like I say, a good baseline of where Illinois is at, and then we'll keep an eye on it and see how it affects other states, and hopefully we can manage it.
Wendell, Mimi, there have been 37 confirmed cases of bird flu in humans from this outbreak, but experts say consumption of unpasteurized milk is to blame. I'll have more on what the flu and testing means for consumers coming up in the full story at 6.
Okay, Blake, we'll see you tonight at 6 again. Egg prices could soon reach record highs. The average price in the U.S. has gone up 38% since November of 2023. Last month alone, prices went up 8%. Statistics show a carton of a dozen large eggs cost $3.65 a month. That's $1.50 more than last year. Egg suppliers say there are 2 reasons for the price surge now: the bird flu, which Blake just mentioned, and strong consumer demand, especially around the holiday season. New cameras and intercom systems are coming to federal facilities in Winnebago County. $8.2 million has been set aside for the technology upgrade. This project aims to upgrade the tech and security with newer, more efficient video management systems. The system will support more than 1,200 cameras and more than 1,700 intercoms. Video recorders and communication cameras will also be a part of the installation. 15 county buildings will have their cameras upgraded, including Animal Services, the Health Department, and Veterans Memorial Hall.
Governor Pritzker announces his support for an Illinois bill that would better regulate the hemp industry. Hemp is legally different from cannabis, meaning cannabis laws don't currently apply to hemp products. The legislation would regulate hemp much like how cannabis is regulated. The state reports an increase in reports of minors accidentally consuming hemp products. The bill would create limits on packaging, allow only those 21 and older to purchase hemp, and limit its sale to only licensed dispensaries. The city of Beloit is taking submissions to name a few pieces of snow equipment. There are 2 additions to be named, a snowplow and a loader with a snowblower attached. The submissions will be accepted until Sunday at midnight. After the finalists are selected by Public Works, the community will vote on their favorite between January 6th and the 10th. City leaders hope this contest will help connect the community and bring some fun for the holidays.
We're looking to do this annually if we can. We have more trucks that can be named, and so we wanted to roll it out this year. As a city organization, we value literacy, and we will evaluate opportunities for youth to think outside the box and have their voices matter, and I really think this is a good way for them to get involved.
The winning names will be announced January 13th. For more information on how to submit a name, you can visit mystateline.com.
Nursing graduates of St. Anthony's College are honored today at a commencement ceremony and a baccalaureate service. 29 Bachelor's of Science of Nursing grads and 2 Doctor of Nursing practice graduates received their diplomas today. These graduates will help meet the future needs of this community, many during the ongoing nursing shortage. But their work is not finished just yet. They'll be able to enter the nursing field after passing their nursing exam.
A noble calling. The College of Nursing was started by the Sisters of OSF years ago, and our graduates are able to carry on the legacy that the sisters started.
Graduates often return to the college after working in the field to seek higher degrees or share what they've learned by becoming teachers themselves.
The number of kids getting flu shots this season is down in the U.S. The CDC reports vaccinations fell by roughly 7% as of November 30th compared to the same period last year. Nearly 37% of children have received the shot so far. That's a drop of almost 44% from the same time last season. Every state except Iowa has seen a decrease in vaccinations. New research shows the effects of screen time on a child's sleeping habits. The journal Early Child Development and Care published a study revealing excessive screen time by preschoolers leads to reduced sleep quality. Lack of sleep can hinder attention and cause mood changes. In the research, preschoolers who had limited screen time also had better sleep quality, better attention, and more positive emotions. They also got along better with their peers. Doctors recommend a bedtime story rather than screen time before bed.
If you're looking for something to do, there are plenty of free holiday events in Rockford tonight, especially if you want to get into the holiday spirit. You can brave the cold at the popular snow market. It is back at the Norwegian until 9 tonight. The Indoor City Market is hosting holidays event until 8 with local vendors, holiday drinks, and live music. And at Sears and Dells, the Luminaria event runs until 9. You can walk through candlelit trails and explore winter nature activities.
After the break, an American held in a Syrian prison steps foot on U.S. soil once again.
The family's reaction to his return as officials search for more Americans missing in the country.
And coming up tonight at 6, just a few hours left to apply for federal disaster aid. You can still get help with damage from July's severe storms.
It's been a cold day across the state line. Temperatures started out in the single digits, only making their way back up into the 20s. Milder air moves in for the weekend, but so do our precipitation chances. I'll break down our potential for any freezing rain tomorrow, coming up in just a little bit.
You're watching Eyewitness News, your home team, with Mimi Murphy, Wendell Edwards, Scott Leber, and meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
Relief for the family of Travis Timmerman after finding out their son is alive. He was found yesterday in Syria after the fall of the Assad regime.
He says he was in prison for 7 months after crossing the Syrian border on what he says was a religious pilgrimage. Perry Russum has more.
For the first time in 50 years, Syrians gathering for Friday prayers without the brutal Assad regime in control. They are celebrating Victory Day after dictator Bashar al-Assad was overthrown and fled to Russia. For a mother in America, her prayers have been answered.
Every day was hard for me.
Stacy Gardner says she's been waiting to hear from her son Travis Timmerman for 7 months. The tears of sadness ended when she and her husband Richard saw these videos from Syria.
What's your name?
Travis. I'm like, oh my God, it's him. I just busted out crying. I called her up. I said, it's really him. I seen the video. It's him. He's alive.
Stacy closely monitoring the news from her home in rural Missouri.
There's my baby right there.
In this video from Syria, Travis says he was rescued by rebel fighters on Monday after the fall of the Assad regime.
They took a hammer and they broke my door down.
When news broke, an American was discovered. At first, some thought it could be Austin Tice. The freelance journalist and military veteran has been missing in Syria for more than a decade. His parents say they're hopeful.
We're fortunate to have in our corner and supporting us hugely a number of different people, different organizations, people that we have met over the years in the region, people that are working right now in Damascus, trying to locate and bring Austin safely home.
The White House says they're working to get more information on where Austin Tice is. They say they're concerned about finding him and his condition. Perry Russum, ABC News, Washington.
Lawmakers are demanding answers tonight for those unusual drone activity in sky over New Jersey and Philadelphia.
Night after night for weeks, drones have been seen in the night sky above the Northeast. The FBI and Homeland Security say there is not a threat to national or public safety. The Biden administration says there's no evidence the aircraft were sent by a foreign adversary. However, officials are still worried. Senator Richard Blumenthal has even suggested the drones be shot down. Senators from New York and New Jersey wrote a strongly worded letter to several government agencies expressing urgent concern. Here in the state line, warmer temperatures and rain on the way for this weekend.
But that could mean icy conditions tomorrow. Meteorologist Jordan Wolf will let us know what we can expect. His forecast is next.
Now, your first warned weather forecast from meteorologist Jordan Wolf.
After starting the day just a few degrees above zero, we warmed into the afternoon, getting many spots even into the 20s. Officially, Rockford made a high temperature of 25 degrees. We're now sitting a couple degrees shy of that at 23. 21 in Poplar Grove, upper teens when you look at to southern Wisconsin, and then 25 in Dixon, 23 in Rochelle and in DeKalb. Here into the evening tonight, cloud cover along with a little bit more of that southerly wind will continue to hold our temperatures pretty steady, if not warming through the night. As we head closer to midnight, those numbers will drop off a couple degrees, but beyond midnight, they will continue to hold steady or rise, hence that overnight low 22 degrees, which will be met likely very, very close to that midnight hour. We are left with a lot of this cloud cover, though, ahead of our next weather system across many of our Mercy Health SkyTrack cameras in the region. And that cloud cover continues to remain thick as that next weather system starts to roll in. Precipitation, though, likely holds off until we get into at least the mid-morning hours of tomorrow. But this is the area that we are watching, already producing some mixed precipitation and some freezing rain out just south of Omaha, Nebraska, and across portions of southwestern Iowa. That is gradually going to lift our direction and could bring us the potential for some freezing rain as we head into tomorrow as well. Our temperatures, though, will be rising actually above freezing by the afternoon, but we still could see some slick spots even through the afternoon, partly because of where our surface temperatures will end up being. When we report a surface temperature, typically that's actually the air temperature a couple meters above the ground. That may be above freezing during the afternoon, but our ground temperature, actually the pavement, may be at or even below freezing for a little bit longer because our air actually warms up a little bit quicker than the actual pavement does. So if our air temperature is above freezing, some of those surfaces may still be a little bit icy. Keeping that in mind as we put this together with Futurecast, we see our next precipitation chances moving in through early Saturday morning could onset as even some light or moderate snow showers to the far western parts of our viewing area. Then as we head into mid-morning, I do think that eventually switches over to a freezing drizzle or possibly some freezing rain will be mixed in. I do think also many spots east of I-39 may likely stay dry roughly through the noon hour until we get some of that more widespread rain that moves in. Even during this time, though, look at those surface temperatures in the 30s above that freezing mark. But remember, our surface, actual ground temperature or the pavement, may be still at or below that freezing mark even during the afternoon. So we may have to watch out for some slick spots through the noon hour and possibly into the early afternoon until we get some of these steadier rainfall rates that start to fall by the mid to late afternoon. That will help to melt off any ice that we have built up during that time. Steady rain may be possible then through the evening and lasting possibly into the overnight hours before we eventually transition some of that further away. As far as our ice accumulation goes, our highest coverage of that will remain across Iowa, where an ice storm warning is in effect for portions of eastern Iowa, up to 1/4 of an inch of ice possible there. Possibly a glaze, maybe near 1/10 of an inch of ice for some of our western fringes of the viewing area, and no ice accumulation expected here in Rockford, although we still could see those slick spots through the afternoon. Temperatures rising into the 30s for the afternoon and evening. Don't fall off for those overnights, back into the 40s as we head into the weekend and beyond. And then our next cool down moves in, dropping us back into the 30s and 20s for next week.
Jordan, thank you.
Scott's in next with sports.
He's going to tell us all about a big bat that is coming to Chicago, and the Brewers deal their closer.
Now sports with sports director Scott Lever.
Cubs made their first big move in this offseason. Consider it an early Christmas, Cubs fans. You just got one of the best all-around outfielders in baseball. He is Kyle Tucker. Cubs get him in a deal with the Astros. In return, the Cubs give up Isaac Paredes and Hayden Wesneski. Tucker has a .274 career batting average with 125 home runs. Over the last 4 seasons, he is third in the American League in on-base plus slugging percentage and third in slugging percentage. Twice, he's driven in more than 100 runs. He's also won a Gold Glove, and he'll steal some bases. He'll become the Cubs' regular right fielder. Seiya Suzuki will now DH unless he, too, is traded. Cubs fans have more reason to celebrate because the Brewers have lost another key player. Closer Devin Williams has been traded to the Yankees for starting pitcher Nestor Cortez and young infielder Caleb Durbin. Williams is a 2-time All-Star. He has 68 saves since 2019. Well, we knew this was coming, Ice Hogs fans. Frank Nazar has been called up to the Blackhawks. The rookie has been sensational for the Hogs. He's their leading scorer. He also leads all AHL rookies with 11 goals and 24 points. Nazar had a brief 3-game stint with the Blackhawks at the end of last season, and he's pretty pumped about getting another opportunity with them.
I was really excited. I just got a call from the GM down in Rockford and told me that I was getting the call and that I was hopping on a plane this morning. So it was a really exciting moment, just kind of shocked, just get a random call at night from the GM. Like, you kind of can expect what he's going to say, but you never know. And when I heard the good news, it was just a lot of joy.
We've got Nick 10 boys basketball on tap for tonight. Auburn will play at Boylan, Belvedere at Belvedere North, East at Jefferson. That game was supposed to be played at East, but they have a facility issue there, so now the game is at Jefferson at 6:30. Hononegah plays at Freeport. Guilford will take on Harlem. That's sports. We'll be right back.
Increasing cloud cover on the first warn interactive radar from Rockford, Glass and more, but we will remain dry through much of the night tonight. However, into early tomorrow morning, we could see the potential for some freezing rain, especially across the western half of the viewing area west of I-39. Could see up to a glaze of ice. Slick spots possible across the board through the early afternoon as temperatures climb into the 30s, then much milder into the 40s for Sunday and Monday.
Thank you, Jordan.
And thanks for joining us. We'll see you again at 6.